Hey, it's Blair, the Love Guru from loveguru.net, thealiennetwork.com, horsehealer.net, and I am a deprogrammer helping you heal from mental, emotional, childhood wounds and all the ways that you've been programmed by your friends, family, society, and the media. And what I want to talk about today is the indigo experiment. So one of the things that I talk a lot about is the matrix, how to break out of the matrix. And again, that's all the resources that I offer on my websites, more specifically thealiennetwork.com, which is for indigos. Because one of my missions is to guide, help, heal, teach, and lead indigos in preparing for and doing their divine mission. So let's talk about breaking out of this matrix, or actually like living in the matrix, and then understanding like to break out of the matrix, step into an enlightened state, and then step into life mastery, your power, and then true fulfillment, success, happiness. So we are in a matrix now. I think you probably know this if you're an indigo and you're watching this. Now in this matrix, there's tons of experiments going on everybody. So a lot of times we hear about the experiments happening related to, we'll say, the injection. We hear experiments done. There's just like so many levels of experiments, but we'll say for TIs, and I don't want to say the word here because I'm putting this up on YouTube, but you can look that up, experiments done on TIs. And there's also experiments done on everybody. Everybody here in the Matrix is in an experiment. Okay? So first off, take that in. You're in an experiment. Whether you realize it or not, you're part of the experiment, you're part of the Matrix, you're part of this video game. So the second part of that is that the indigo experiment is for people who have gone through mental abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse. Did I miss anything? Emotional, mental, verbal, physical, sexual abuse. They are individuals who have had a very hard childhood, and maybe you didn't realize it until your adulthood, because that was something with me. I didn't realize that I was emotionally abused until I got older, because I always used to be like, what the hell's going on? Like, I always thought it was very weird, like how my parents treated me or how my family treated me or like things that they would say to me. But I never knew the word emotional abuse. And also that word is like so sort of ugly, like abuse, you know, when you hear that and you're like, oh, I was abused. Oh, I don't want to say that. Oh, I don't want to think that. So indigos are in the experiment that you've been abused. You've had a hard life, and you've experienced trauma. And you're probably still going through that, or you may be still going through that or coming out of that and trying to heal from it. So that is the indigo experiment of you going through the abuse, and then how are you going to rise from it, which has to do with healing yourself, which has to do with all the work that I do. Another word for healing is deprogramming yourself. It's one and the same. And that is how you really step into your power. That's how you step into your gifts. And they're really looking for like let's say the runners of the experiment. And it's interesting that word come up because I'm going to talk about something having to do with runner. I'll get to it. Wait for it for a second. But the runners of the matrix are seeing who are those who can rise out of the trauma and the abuse, who can heal themselves and who can step into self-mastery, and those who can actually do their mission in this world. They are seeking those for people to be successful. It's not to just destroy you. It's there's so many layers of this that I can talk about. But so again, if you're an indigo, you're in an experiment. It's the experiment is that you are traumatized when you're young. You've gone through abuse. You've gone through hard things so that you can develop your gifts, so that you can rise. They want to see who are the strong ones to rise, who actually really want to do their mission. It's one of the ways that how they develop our gifts. The reason why you have your gifts is because they've been developed through trauma. They've been developed through the abuse that you've gone through. And I know that that's sort of fucked up to hear, but that's how we develop our gifts. So if you want to watch a movie that is related, that's like an indigo movie that's related to like, has some themes of what indigos go through, the experiment that we're in, watch Maze Runner. That'll probably, or that may activate some things within you. Because those kids in that movie are indigos. The stuff that they're talking about in that movie, it's all about us, indigos. And I would talk about that movie more, but I don't want to ruin it for you in case you haven't seen it or you haven't seen it in a while. Watch that movie. That's an Illuminati movie, if you want to call it that. I think it's ridiculous that we use that word now because I've gotten like more downloads as far as what the hell's going on here. And that's just the mainstream word for it, Illuminati. It's not that. That's not what's going on here. It's bullshit. That's another program of the Matrix. It's program amongst program layered on top of each other in the Matrix here. So if you would like more information about who you truly are, connecting to who you truly are, deprogramming, healing from the abuse and trauma that you've gone through, the mental, emotional, and childhood wounds, and you want to break out of this matrix, you want to step into an enlightened state, and you want to step into life mastery, then go to thealiennetwork.com. I think that probably almost everything on that site is going to be of interest to you. I have lots of audios and videos and books. And yeah, you're part of an experiment. We're part of an experiment. Yeah, you're abused so that your gifts come out and that they want to see who rises above the trauma and abuse to step into doing your mission. The mission is not granted to everybody. All right, we'll leave it. I could just talk on and on about this stuff because I love this stuff. All right, bye-bye.